On a count of three, my SHARIMA. 1, 2, 3.
My SHARIMA!
Hi everyone, welcome back. I have the lovely Sharon Farrell, a bit of SHARIMA back at ya.
Yay.
Today, Sharon, what are we doing?
Today we are going to be showing our foundation routines for a really hot, humid day, so like a sweat-proof makeup routine.
Yeah, so super long wearing are good if maybe you're going to a humid country or you live in a humid country. Let's start.
So I actually have a little bit of makeup on my face already because I've just been rushing from a meeting. So busy. So I'm going to take it off first.
I'm going to start with a moisturizer. Even though I'm really dry, in really humid weather, I don't want to wear anything that's too rich because it's just going to encourage my makeup to melt off. So today I'm using the Avene Hydrance Light Cream, which is really beautiful, very hydrating, but it's not going to encourage your makeup to slip.
Yeah, always good. And I am just taking off my makeup. I'm actually using the Avene Micellar Water. This is their cleanance micellar water. So this one is specifically for my kind of skin. It's for acne prone skin. So this helps to control sebum throughout the day, which is exactly what you want. If you want your makeup to last, you don't want any of the oil coming through. So this should hopefully help to keep my skin nice and matte.
I think the moral of the story is oil is a makeup's worst enemy.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you also don't want to use, I find if I use products that are too like stripping, then you almost overcompensate. Your skin overcompensates and gets even oilier. So you got to strike the balance.
So I've been using the Avene brand quite literally for 10 years. How old am I now? Yeah, since I was about 16.
Yeah.
I use the skin recovery cream a lot. It's one of those great products for really sensitized skin. The whole Avene brand I think is really good if you have skin that reacts really easily.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually going to pop on some of that moisturizer as well. Avoid rubbing off the eyebrows.
Yeah, I was just like...
Yeah. Ready to go.
Okay, skin prep done. I'm actually wanting to use this primer as well.
I'm going to be using the Max Factor Facefinity Primer. I think this is one, like, high end, low end. This is one of my favorite long wearing primers. It really, really keeps my makeup on all day. And it dries to a kind of a slightly tacky finish, so it really grips the foundation.
Yes, but it doesn't dry to that kind of cracked finish.
No.
Yeah. I love this and I have dry skin as well, so...
Yeah. I think the key as well, though, and this will be the same for the foundation and the concealer, light layers. So as little product as you can get away with.
Hot summers in Australia and also my time in Bali taught me that often on hot days, the more you put on, the greater the propensity for it to just slide off and look bad throughout the day.
Definitely.
So almost as little as you can get away with.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to really, really work this in with my hands and make sure it's a really, really thin layer of product. Okay. So primer done. I am going to move on to my foundation, and today I'm using Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. This is one of my favorite long wearing foundations because it's not super dry looking or super matte. It's nice coverage. It's not too heavy and it lasts really, really well on my skin.
Just before I head on to foundation, I'm going to take a little bit of eye primer. This might sound a little bit strange to some of you, and I'm going to just put it across the bridge of my nose. I find when I'm wearing sunnies, you get that line?
Yeah.
A little bit of eye primer just across the bridge of your nose.
Well, I learned something new. I'm going to do that too.
Glasses wearers will feel me. It's the worst when you take off your glasses, then your makeup's kind of completely worn off there.
All right, so I'm going to buff my foundation on with a really dense buffing brush. Again, this is just going to give me the thinnest layer of product possible. So I'm really going to work it into the skin.
And for my foundation, I'll be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. This stuff is just indelible on me. It lasts onwards and upwards of like 15 hours.
Wow.
Incredible, yeah.
I do love that. It's long wearing on me, but not that long wearing.
And again, I'm kind of applying as little as I can get away with. And I will be using a beauty blender. Just because I have dry skin and this is a really long wearing foundation, I want to kind of insert a little bit of moisture back into the skin.
Also, I just want to mention, we're wearing the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette on our eyes, in case you're curious.
Yeah. I know someone's going to ask.
Yeah.
For concealer, I will be using the MAC Pro Longwear. This is another one of my favorite really long wearing concealers. I can take it on the bridge of the nose and it doesn't shift, even when I put on and take off my glasses. So love that one.
I will also be using this. This is one of my favorites.
Great mind, Sharon.
And again, I'm using a buffing brush, like a mini version of the brush I used for my foundation, just so that I put on a really thin layer. I don't know about you, but when I want my makeup to be really, really long lasting, I tend to not worry about getting like a flawless base.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I would rather sacrifice the coverage, have less product on my skin knowing that it's going to stay put.
Also, it's more comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, when it's humid, it's just like you don't really want to wear a full face.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Shall we move on to powder?
Yes. So I am going to powder. I'm going to use the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. This is so mattifying on my skin. I think this is good stuff if you're very oily.
Oh, cool beans. I'll be using my all-time favorite, which is the Rouge Brownie Rouge. This is just a really good powder for dry skin. If you want to set your skin but you dislike powder, I think this is a good choice.
Just really pressing that into my skin. I find when you really like mash the powder into the foundation, it really helps it to last. Not just kind of sitting on top.
Yeah.
You want to meld them together.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that is really mattifying on you.
Yeah, right. Well, I've put quite a bit of it on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
After I've just said, less is more, but the more the merrier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean, though? I think with the Beauty Blender, though, because it's damp, it kind of stops it from... It stops it from being
getting
heavy.
cakey, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to some bronzer. Today, I am using the Laura Mercier bronzer. And I'm using powder products, just because powder products tend to stay on an awful lot longer.
I'm going to be using a cream hybrid for my bronzer. This is the Colourpop bronzers. So it's, I think, a very unique formula. It's they say somewhere between a powder and a cream. To me, it's a cream, but it has incredible setting power. Setting power, and it locks in.
Right.
But typically I would totally agree with you, like in general, powders over creams for humid weather.
I think also the fact that I've really set my skin, like my skin is so matte and quite
How
powdered.
on earth would you put a cream over
Exactly.
that? Yeah.
It would be next to impossible to blend a cream on top of this base.
I'm going to be, again, using another Colourpop Super Shock Cheek. And this is in the shade Tricky, which is coral. Love me a coral.
I'm going to move on to blush, and I'm using the Tartist blush palette. And I'm probably going to do a little bit of a mix. I find these to be really long wearing, actually.
Yeah, me too.
And really pigmented. So a little bit goes a long way. Whoa, look at that.
I am going to apply a highlight, despite the fact that, you know, potentially I would be shiny anyway. I do love me a bit of highlight. This is Hourglass Luminous Light, which is what I would call like a bridal highlight. It's that soft,
Not
lit
disco.
from within.
Right.
It's not disco-y at all, so it'll never turn obnoxious, regardless of sweat.
Can I use that?
Yeah. Fan high five.
And I agree with what you said, even though you probably will get a little bit of shine and kind of dew in your skin throughout the day. I think because we've powdered everything so much,
Yeah.
you kind of want to add a little bit of dimension back in.
But I would avoid putting it on the chin today.
Yeah.
For that reason.
No, I won't put any on my nose. Or the mustache area.
I'm going to put it on my moustache.
Are you? Yeah, see, I can't do that.
I live on the edge.
Oh, you crazy, Karima.
But that's really good advice. Do as she says, not as I do. For lip color, this to me just screams spring, summer.
Yeah, it's tropical.
Yes.
And I've gone for a pretty similar tone. So I'm using one of the Anastasia liquid lipsticks just for longevity.
Whoa! What is it with me turning everything like Barbie pink?
I like liquid lipsticks for a long day because I actually do tend to get quite oily around my mouth and my chin, and products bleed because I'm oily around there. So liquid lipsticks are one of the few things that don't bleed on a hot day for me.
The final step to a sweat-proof long-wearing makeup, I think this is like key. Setting spray. I really enjoy the Urban Decay Chill for drier skin. It just doesn't leave the skin quite so tight. So if that's a concern, chill.
I'm going to be using All Nighter, which I think is more for an oily skin.
I really hope that you guys enjoyed our sweat-proof long-wearing foundation routines for both dry and oily skins. Definitely check out the video that we filmed on Sharon's channel. What do we film there?
We are filming a full coverage foundation routine, which I think should be interesting between the two different skin types too.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you have a wonderful day.
day.
And we will speak to you very soon. Bye! Oh, no, I did yours and you did mine. I love your hair. You are short hair goals. Hashtag goals. Yeah. For lip color, this to me just screams spring, summer, and everywhere that I would rather be right now.
Yeah, thanks, Karima. Oh, you'd rather be in
not what I
Bali?
meant. That's not
Is
what
that
I
where you'd
meant.
rather be?
No, Bali was awful.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, Ma.
Oh, Sharon, by the way, I watched all of your vlogs. I think they're so amazing.
Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. I need to meet
When
your
my
mum.
mum is a massive fan of my friend. I love her vlogs. They're incredible and they're amazing.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Maybelline Fit Me.
Oh, that would have been my other one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really similar, but better than the NARS Creamy Concealer, in my opinion. I find this one is just not quite as obvious on the skin.
Yeah, it's
got
easier to blend.
easier to blend.